All right, this is Chapter 3, Lesson 2, the check writing process. So, writing a check. When you open a checking account at a bank, you deposit checks and currency into the account. Then you can write checks on this account. So a check is a paper document directing a bank to deduct money from your checking account and make a payment. So if you pay for something at a store, or if you have a bill that you need to pay and you write a check for it. Your account must contain as much money as the amount of the check you are writing so that you do not overdraw your account. Sometimes you might hear the phrase bouncing a check. So when you bounce a check, it means you don't have enough money in your account to cover the cost of that check, so it bounces, which means a lot of times you have an overdraft, and a lot of times there's a fee associated with an overdraft. Okay, so a return check is sometimes called an overdraft. To write checks, you need to be able to write dollar amounts in word form with a decimal portion expressed as a fraction. So example 1, write the amounts in word form or as a numeral. So $65.29 in word form is 65. Okay, so the $65 $65 is the $65 right here. Okay, notice how they have a hyphen in the middle. And then the 29 cents is written as a fraction. So 29 over 100, and you always end it in dollars. Anywhere this decimal point is, that's where you're going to put and. Okay. So anywhere where and is, that's where you're going to, that's your decimal point right there. Awesome. So and is your decimal point. Okay. So for 23 and 42 over 100, for 23 and 42 over $100 as a numeral. So again, we're going to work backwards. So the 23 represents this $23 right here in front. The 42 over 100 represents what's behind the decimal, so the 42 cents. And the and represents the decimal. Okay, so $23.42. So for number 1, write each of the following in word form or as a numeral. So the first one's $26.55. So I write that for number 1, 26. I put a hyphen in between 26 and 55 over 100. All cents are out over $100. That's number 1. Okay, so again, looking at this, I have and represents the decimal point. 55 over 100 represents the 55 cents. And 26 represents the $26. Okay. For number 2, I have 30 and 20 over $100. So that's $30.20. So again, I did the same thing. 30 represents this 30 right here and represents the decimal point, and 20 over 100 represents the cents. So example 2, Margaret Miller is buying a gift at the department store on March 23rd. 20, and then there's the cost of the gift is $45.78, and she pays by check. How should she write the check? So the first thing that I want to do is I want to write the date. All writing should be in pen. Okay, so at the date at the top, I have March 2nd, 20, and then there's 2 dashes, so whatever year it happened to be. So if it 2020 would be 2020. Okay, so March 2nd, 2020 or 2021. You're right in the middle of pandemic. Step number 2, write the name of the person or organization to whom the payment will be made. So she's making the payment to the department store. So if you went and bought something at Abercrombie & Fitch, you would put Abercrombie & Fitch at the top. Step 3, write the amount of the check as a numeral. So the amount of the check was $45.78. Write the amount of check in words with cents as a fraction of a dollar. So 45 and 75 over $100. Okay. Make a notation on the memo line to indicate the check's purpose. So she was buying something for Kendra's birthday. So she put that in the memo. And then you sign the check with your name. Okay. So there's her name. So for this one, we want to complete the problems and then check our answers. So Manuel Romeo is buying a drill press at Harry's Hardware. See figure 4.3. The cost is $165.52. He's going to write a check. Answer the following questions about the check. So for number 3, to whom is the check payable? Okay, so who are they making the check out to? They're making the check out to Harry's Hardware. Okay. Do you write the amount in word form? Or how do you write the amount in word form? So 165 and 52 over $100. Okay. What should we put in the memo portion? Okay, so this is kind of up to you what you put in the memo portion. He's buying a drill press, so you might put drill press if that's all you're buying. Okay, so drill press. And then you don't have to put that. You could, if it was a gift for someone, you could put gift for or birthday present for. Like if someone sends you a check for your birthday, they might put happy birthday in the memo line. Who signs the check? So Manuel Romeo signs the check. All right, and then for your homework, so the first questions here are writing each amount in word form as it would appear on the check. So you're writing each amount in word form. Remember, put your cents as fractions over 100. A lot of times, if you have a 0, 0, a lot of times it can be written as, so if you have 0, 0, sometimes it's written as XX over 100. Or 0 over 100. Either one would work, just so you know. Write each of the following as a numeral. So 13 through 16, you're writing those in number form. Okay, so again, 0, 0 over 100 would be 0.00. For the problems 17 and 18, they want you to use this check right here. And then 19 and 20, they want you to use the check here to answer the questions.